What's up, everybody? Come on in. Today we're gonna make some red beans. So we have our vegetables, which consists of 2 medium onions, 3 stalks of celery, and 1 large bell pepper. So I'm cutting up my celery. It is a little flimsy, but that just means it's dehydrated and it's still safe to cook with. So I went ahead and chopped it up. Let's move on to chopping up our bell pepper. I'm gonna chop that up and move on to the onions after that. And now for the onions. And for the onions, I did use yellow onions, or some people like to call them Spanish onions. We're gonna get those chopped up and we're gonna move on to cut up our sausage. We got all that chopped up. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut up our smoked sausage. You can use any type of smoked sausage you prefer. It all works. So if you want to know what I'm using, me personally, I like Conecuh sausage, but depending on what I'm cooking, I might switch it up every now and then. But today we're gonna stick with my favorite, or one of my favorites. All right, we got that cut up, set to the side. And now we're just gonna oil our pot. And we're gonna put those smoked turkey necks in just for a few minutes, just to kind of wake the flavor up in it, kind of draw out the smoke flavor of the meat. All right, we've got that seared pretty good. We're gonna take that out, and then we're gonna cook our smoked sausage. So we're just gonna cook it until it's browned pretty good. And then we're gonna take it out. We're gonna get ready to put our chopped vegetables in. All right, in with the vegetables. And we're just gonna cook that down until the vegetables are nice and soft. And then we're gonna season the vegetables. If you have Cajun Creole seasoning, you can use that. I just didn't have it on hand. I hadn't made any more. I usually make my own. But I had to work with the seasoning that I had today. So it's not usually what I use, not usually everything that I use, but we made it work. It came out pretty good. So salt, a little garlic powder, a little cumin, and some cayenne. And we're also gonna add some black pepper and some white pepper. And some ground thyme. Now I do want to warn you, when that seasoning hits that oil, if your lungs are not used to it, you're gonna cough. It's gonna get to you. But just soldier through it because it's worth it. All right. We're gonna get all of that incorporated together pretty good. We're gonna let the vegetables sweat down a little bit more. And then we're gonna add our garlic. There it is. I just added the rest of what I had, but I usually put in 2 heaping tablespoons. That incorporated pretty good. Let the garlic cook a little bit, bring out the flavor. And then everything we cooked previously, we're gonna add it into the pot. And put just enough water in to cover everything. Back in with the meat, and now we're gonna add our overnight soaked red beans. with some water. Now here, you are absolutely welcome to use chicken or beef stock. I just didn't have it on hand, so I used water, but you can definitely use any stock you want. Alright, we're gonna season that up. Kind of make sure that water's seasoned and can cook into the meat and the beans. Gonna get that mixed in. And we're gonna add some bay leaves. This is optional for you, but for me, it's not. I have to do it. It does something to the food, man, I'm telling you. And just for fun and flavor, we're gonna add some hot sauce. All right, we're gonna bring that to a boil. Then we're gonna put the top on, and we're gonna let it simmer for 30 minutes at a time. We're gonna come back and check it each time. See how much longer the beans need to cook before they're tender enough to eat. So this was after the first 30 minutes. Just kind of stirring it around, making sure nothing is sticking to the bottom. All right, this is an hour in, simmering. Again, making sure nothing's sticking to the bottom. Here we are, last and final stir. Test one of these beans. It's feeling pretty tender. Tastes pretty good. So, all right, now we're gonna take some of these beans out. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna mash these and we're gonna add them back into the pot to thicken the red beans. To help make them nice and creamy. All right, let's mash them up. All right, gonna add these back into the pot. Gonna get that good and mixed in, and then what we're gonna do is cut the heat off and just kind of let it sit. And wait for it to thicken up a little bit before we serve it. As you can see, they've thickened up, cooled down a little bit. So now they're ready to put over some rice, and they're ready to eat. Let's give them a taste. Yeah. One more spoon, you hear me? They was that good, y'all. Need a little bit of salt, but that was it. All right, let's put some of this over some rice, y'all. I was hungry, bruh. Yeah. Yes, sir. You see it. You see it. Want to give them a quick taste real quick, man? Yeah. Yes, sir.